Today I'm going to be going over how to run a GeoCore node from Timpi on a cheap old HP Elite Desk computer. There's tons of different options you have to run these Timpi nodes, and not just the GeoCore nodes, the Synaptron, the Guardians, and the collectors. I'm going to go over some options that you have to run all these nodes later in the video, but for now I'm going to focus on the GeoCore nodes. The GeoCore nodes, if you haven't heard of them or if you haven't heard of Timpi, I go over in detail in some of my most recent videos on Timpi. I have a full playlist. If you guys want to learn more about these nodes, check out all of these videos that I've done. So I've recently done a video where I go over more in depth on the GeoCore nodes because it's the most recent node. So it's called Profitable Crypto Nodes with a Purpose. That video I'll leave in like a card at the very end if you want to check it out. If you're interested in getting a Timpi node, don't forget you can get 10% off with my discount link. It is in the description of the video. Now let's go ahead and get into setting up the GeoCore node on this little cheap HP Elite Desk. First, real quick rundown of what a GeoCore node needs to run the minimum specs for your computer. So operating system, we need to install Linux on this little HP Elite Desk. So Linux Ubuntu 2204. We need a 4-core CPU, which I do have, 8 gigabytes of RAM. This has 16, 3 gigabytes free disk space. If you don't have that much, I don't know what you're doing. 50 megabytes up and down. Port forwarding will be required. Your uptime needs to be 95%. So the GeoCores do have a little stricter uptime. So try to make sure you have a nice stable internet connection. That's another reason why they went with a Linux install on the GeoCores, because Windows tends to be problematic. You can't install this on Windows, so you need Linux. So if you don't have Linux, if you've never installed it, you can go to ubuntu.com and they have instructions, and it makes it really easy. If you can't figure out how to upload Ubuntu onto a computer, you might not want to try to run this node on your own. If you're already feeling a little overwhelmed about just getting into the steps of what I'm talking about to set up the GeoCore node on your own, don't worry, there are easy options. Nodeorbit.com is the easy option, in my opinion. I've used Nodeorbit for years. I've been running a Neoxa node for several years. They just run. Every time I check on it, it's just running. So I've never had any problem with my Neoxa nodes at Nodeorbit, so I can definitely recommend them to you guys. If you do want to go with them, I do have an affiliate link in the description. I appreciate if you use it, if you find the video helpful. So Timpi collector node, $6 a month, billed annually, because it doesn't take much resources, so it's pretty cheap to run. GeoCore node doesn't take much resources. As you guys saw, I already went over that earlier, so it's only $10 to run. The Guardian node is a little bit more resources that it needs to run. So it would need like a large hard drive because this is kind of like storing information. So it's $25 to run because it takes a lot more resources. And then the more expensive node to run that also gives you pretty high rewards, though, is the Synaptron node, because it takes a GPU. You have to have a graphics card to run. It takes more wattage, so it's a little more resource intensive for a Nodeorbit to run these nodes. That's why it's $40 per month. So there's your options from Nodeorbit. Check them out. Like I said, use the link in the description if you appreciate the content. I would appreciate you using that link. It is an affiliate link. I'll get a little bit of commission. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on to, after you've installed Ubuntu, the next steps we need to do to get your GeoCore up and running. Okay, so you've got Ubuntu installed on the computer you're going to use, and now you need to run some commands. And also you need to register your node. So I'll leave a link to this exact page in their GitHub. This is Timpi's official GitHub. I'll leave the link to this in the description along with that discount code for the node itself. You'll get 10% off if you use that. Like I said, appreciate it. It's affiliate link also. So first you need to register your node. Click right here in step 0 where it says GeoCore registration page. If you've watched some of my other videos, you already have your Kepler wallet, you already have your node purchased, and then you can register in the Timpi node management portal right here. So you'll have to click on this link after you link your Kepler wallet to the browser you're using. That link will take you here where it says connect Kepler wallet. And I've already done this. So once you hit connect Kepler wallet, it will show your nodes that you have. And I actually also have a collector node. But anyway, you need your GUID. So once you connect your Kepler wallet, it'll ask you to register your node. I've already done it, so I can't do it again here. But you'll hit register your node, and it should bring you to this section where you're going to be able to copy this GUID. You need this number. It's actually longer than what you see here. Make sure you copy the entire number right here, the GUID, and then we're going to need that later. Okay, next we're going to run through each one of these commands to install Docker. So you've got your Ubuntu 2204, and just search shell, and then this will open up right here. And then this is where you're going to paste in the commands. And like I said, I'm going to open up this guide right on the computer that I'm going to do this on. And then all you need to do is go one at a time and run these commands. So I'm going to I already did sudo apt update. Next, I'm going to do sudo apt upgrade. So, you would copy it, and then you're going to right click and paste it, and you're going to see it run that command. And you need to go one at a time. Make sure you do step by step to install Docker. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm not going to show you each one, but you get the idea. Copy, paste into shell, hit enter, run the command, do it one at a time, make sure they all run. Okay, so mine successfully ran through all those commands, and it says Docker must show active running before continuing. So the next thing we're going to do is run the automatic GeoCore installation. So it should guide you through step by step. It'll check if the Docker is running. It'll prompt you for a GeoCore port. The default is 4100. It'll ask you for that GeoCore GUID that I was telling you about that you copied earlier in the video. It'll ask you for your location in your country, your city. It'll launch the Docker container, and it'll show how you can monitor logs. Okay, so the auto install went successful for me. So next I'm going to use my home router. I'm going to forward external port 4100 to the internal IP on port 4100. So it depends on what you have. If you have a firewall, run this. If you have a home router, follow these instructions right here, because you will need to open up that port for the GeoCore node. Sorry to interrupt your video, but a quick word from the sponsor of the video, Cryptominer Bros. Cryptominer Bros has the best brands and the latest models of crypto mining equipment available. They've got Bitmain, Canaan, Volkminer, Ice River, Flu Miner, Gold Shell, AlphaPex, and Proto. Proto is one of the newest Bitcoin miners that has been announced recently that has swappable hash boards. It seems like it's going to be really cool. And Cryptominer Bros already has it on their radar. It's not listed for sale yet, but that's why you got to keep an eye on the website. The link to the website is in the description of this video. Use that link and use my discount code GREATER for $70 off each miner in your order. Thank you again to Cryptominer Bros for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to your video. If you're going to get into Timpi nodes, I would highly recommend following them on X. And while you're at it, follow me on X too. And also, I would highly recommend joining my Discord. I have a dedicated Timpi section, and also join Timpi's Discord. There are some pretty cool things you can do in Timpi's Discord if you do have one of these nodes, and they update all the time with announcements and technical announcements. I'm going to show you real quick how you can check on your GeoCore node to make sure it's running by doing a simple command in Discord. So all you have to do is join their Discord. Make sure you have the GeoCore role enabled. Let me show you real quick how to do that. Here where it says choose a role, all you have to do is react to the nodes that you have and what you're interested in. So you can see here, GeoCore kind of looks like a bank almost. So you just have to react to that. And I already reacted to it. Now let me show you how to get your GeoCore data to show up in Discord. You can just go to comment in any section of the Discord where you're allowed to comment and put /GeoCore and then hit enter. And then it'll ask you for your GUID, like I showed you when we were setting up the node in the first place. And it'll ask you for whatever port that you have open on your router, whatever you decided to assign for your port. I punched in my GUID and it does show status and uptime active. It's been up for about almost 5 hours now. That's kind of like when I started working on all this. CPU cores 4, total RAM effective 16 gigabytes and available 13 for the node. And storage, there's plenty of storage. So there you go. You can check to see if your GeoCore is running just by running that simple command in Discord. So definitely beneficial to join the Timpi Discord so you can stay up on everything and also get benefits like this. I wanted to show you guys Chainsavvyio. So Chainsavvyio is how I got my nodes running. I have 2 Synaptrons, I have a Guardian, and I have a Collector all running on one system. And it's all thanks to Chainsavvyio. So if you wanted to run multiple nodes, they have tons of different options and different solutions to help you figure that out. And it's all pre-built for you. It's like plug and play with instructions and everything. So if you're wanting to run multiple nodes, if you really like what Timpi's doing, like I do, and you want to have a system that's reliable and you don't have to worry about it, it's just built for you, ready to go with instructions and email support and a warranty and everything. So you can do a triple Synaptron node if you want to run 3 Synaptron AI nodes. I'm running a 3060 and a 3070, and I'm getting tier 2 rewards with those 2 very basic graphic cards. So you can also run a Guardian max node, Synaptron node, single Synaptron node, but the Timpi quad core node is kind of like, or quad node system is kind of like what I've got going on. So I wanted to talk about that. So you can kind of mix and match with this system. So you can run 1 Collector, 1 Guardian, 1 Synaptron, 1 Geo, and you see the combinations. I'm not going to verbally tell you all of them, but you can see how many different combinations of Collector nodes you can run. So this is a very cool solution. Check out Chainsavvy.io. I will leave the link in the description. It is the official link for Chainsavvy.io, and you can use discount code GREATER for $50 off your order. If you don't want to run the node yourself, you can check out the Nodefactory.com. They have multiple different types of nodes, including Timpi nodes, and you can purchase a share of a node. So you don't have to purchase the whole node. You can purchase a share of the node. It's kind of like pitching in on a node with friends, but your buddy's going to run it for you and just charge you a small amount and just pay you a chunk of the money. So you can buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like as many shares as you want, and they will pay you out your chunk of the Timpi node that you've contributed to. So like I said, it's kind of like paying a buddy to run it for you. They're going to take a small fee to deal with all the hassle, and then they will pay you out what's due to you each month. So it's pretty cool. Another option is running your node on Flux. New partnership with Flux. Let's check out runonflux.com. You can run a Timpi collector, and you can run a Timpi GeoCore if you are familiar with runonflux.com. So check out runonflux as well. I hope the video was helpful to you. I hope that you get your GeoCore up and running if you already got it. And I hope that you are able to easily find options if you want to get involved with Timpi now that you've seen this video. So do me a favor, if you like the video, please use the links in the description. They do help me out a ton. Like and subscribe to the channel. And last but not least, don't forget to keep it decentralized for the greater good. The greater good.